Click the wrong button, my bad. But what is going on, everybody? For those who don't know, I go by Philly Mike, host of the Philly Talk podcast. We got the Battle Birds podcast. We are down one member. He got some stuff he has to do, but he relayed some of the stuff he wants to talk about to us via text. I wasn't getting it during the game because of my live play-by-play. But the Philadelphia Eagles lose to the Steelers 39 to 28, 11 points. 9 points. I'm all messed up in the game. But listen, it comes down to the Eagles coming out of halftime having a bunch of blunders when it comes to not being able to stop the game, stop their offense, I should say, and then we go ahead and throw an interception. People were getting at Carson Wentz for that interception. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. I want to get your take on that interception. I think it was a timing route issue. However, it came down to the Eagles battling back. Shout out to Travis Fulgham, 10 catches, like $162. Don't quote me, I lost it. Somebody in the chat should definitely let me know. But look,
like
Jim Schwartz was
152,
152, not 162. Jim Schwartz was doing questionable stuff all game. All game he was. However, you watched Claypool score 3 touchdowns on the Eagles, and on a 3rd and 8, you line your defense up with Nathan Gerry over Claypool. That right there is unacceptable. That is unacceptable. That right there is a timeout-worthy play. If we had any, I don't think we had at that time, or maybe we did have some. Probably not. I know we used them to stop the clock, but I can't get my mind off the play. 3rd and 8, a chance to get the ball back, or they kick a field goal, you get the ball back. Nathan Gerry, who we know sucks. He sucks. I know that. But Jim Schwartz got to know it, that they can't have him on the field in a, empty back set again? Or still, they had 4 receivers on the field. You have to hit your dime. You got to get Craig James. You got to get Nikel Roby-Coleman, Cravion LeBlanc, anybody. They're little guys, but they can still match his speed. Claypool's 6'5", but he runs a 4.43. Nathan Gerry sucks. We know that. Jim Schwartz put him in the absolute worst possible spot, and that very much ended the game. There's things you can talk about, the flags, Darius Slay's play, Carson Wentz missed a few, but for all in all, the offense carried the defense on this one, and it's just something I was totally shocked. I had it a low-scoring game, and I was totally shocked. What's your instant reaction?
My instant reaction is that the coaches lost this game. I think, and I'm proud of the players on this team. I'm proud of a Fulgham. I'm proud of a Carson Wentz. I'm proud of Miles Sanders, gutting it out. He couldn't get any yards. He broke one. We get that, but the player that I'm not proud of is Zach Ertz, and I'll get to him in a minute. You know what I mean? Now, on that first interception, that really wasn't on Zach Ertz. That wasn't on Carson Wentz. That really was on the refs. How do you not call that? The dude literally hit him 8 yards after the play. That is automatically a flag.
He stopped the route. He's definitely stopped the timing of that route. And like you said, it was past 5 yards, so you can't get handsy.
It wasn't just hands. Like, he literally put his shoulder in his shoulder and almost spun him around. The rest was horrible in this game. Some calls went to us. I thought as though that fumble, that was a fumble, wasn't a fumble. Listen, the rest is horrible. But even still, we still had a chance to win this game. You seen Carson Wentz put on his big boy pants and go to work. We seen Fulgham. I don't want to hear about nobody else right now. Like, he is the star of the game. Win or loss, that dude came to play. He is looking like, and I know it's only one game, but who has done what he has done since Carson Wentz has been here? Really nobody, when you look at it. Over 150, didn't drop a pass? Come on, man. This dude is like the real deal. Let me get at Jim Schwartz right now.
Yeah, definitely.
I want to know what this is real fast. It's barbecue chicken. Barbecue chicken. That's what Nathan Gerry was against a pool. Listen, when I seen the spread offense, right? I said, "Oh, they gotta call timeout on this one." Nathan Gerry's on the island with Chase Poole. Oh no, they gonna call timeout. Waste the timeout because it's the defining factor on the game. Even the announcers, people texting me, I'm seeing it. Jim, what are you looking at? What are you looking at? Why do you have Nathan Gerry trying to stick the hottest man on the field? Shout out to Fulgham. He wasn't the hottest man on the field, even though he had a heck of a game. Chase Poole was the hottest man on the field, and you put him against that? And what does he do? Everything that we knew he was going to do. He stumbles. He tried to catch up. It's too late. It's no safety help. You got everybody one-on-one. The middle of the field is open. Yo, Big Ben was literally licking his chops and said, I seen him calling the play. He literally looked at Chase Poole and said, yo, that's you. And you don't call timeout? Like, first of all, once they got a five-receiver set, you pull Nathan Gerry from the rip. You put in either a corner or you put in a safety. Like, hey, I don't understand.
Real quick, shout out to the Giants beating the Cowboys 14-3. I just gotta say
that fast. When I just got out damn, that fast. I just came on my room. Yo, that's crazy. This division is trash, man. But real fast, man. A lot of people, people was texting me saying, Carson.
Takeem Hilton said, man, Fresh called him Chase Poole. It's Claypool.
Hey, whatever. He was like one of them sharks in the pool hall. He was one of them dudes that, hey man, I don't really know how to play pool and none of that. You know what I mean? Why don't you bet 500 on me? And he took all your money. That's what happened. 4 touchdowns. And this is what I don't understand real fast. I understand you scared of, not scared, but you respect Juju Smith-Schuster. He don't got it going this game. You have to go with the hot hand. You got to look at who's hot and who's not. Juju was not hot. This dude was hot. And can I just ask a question real fast? Why is it every single game we get beat by the same play for multiple 20, 40, 30-yard runs? I don't understand it. Like,
why the end around? If you're going against the Eagles, you should automatically put an end around in your package. The Rams killed us 3 times with 20-plus yard end arounds. The Niners had like a 50-yard touchdown from Brandon Ayuk, and whoever number 14 on the Steelers got an easy touchdown because we do not. We're too aggressive to stop the run, which is good for that, but put that in the scouting report if you're playing against the Eagles because we can't stop the end around. I said that on my play-by-play, but real quick, I want to just say something about look, Nathan Gerry's garbage. We know that. We can't get mad at him anymore. When he's on the field and does bad, we can't get mad because why is Jim Schwartz allowing that? Like Fresh said, we should have stopped the play. I don't care. Just do something. No way on 3rd and 8 you see Claypool matched up with Nathan Gerry and you feel good. He's a tight end body with wide receiver speed. He ran a 4.42 or a 4.43. He's as fast as Justin Jefferson. He's as fast as John Hightower, but he's 6'5", 230. Like, this is crazy. Now, no development needing. He's a natural receiver. That was one of his down things. He might need to be developed. He had a horrible quarterback at Notre Dame. But listen, he's a baller. You don't put your worst defender, your slowest defender, on the baller on the opposite team. If anything, you double them. You give somebody one-on-one coverage who shouldn't have it. But you double the guy who's been killing you all game. Look, we can pick and point all these different situations in this game, but watching the game, we kept putting ourselves in bad positions. Defensive pass interference. Some we got, some were questionable. But the penalties, the offsides, all that played a part. But at the end of the day, with Travis Fulgham, with Carson Wentz throwing to him, even the strike that Jalen Hurts throw, we were able to stay in the game. The offense had to keep us in the game. We're down 4 starters on the offensive line, 3 or 4 starters at wide receiver, and the offense was the better part of this team, which is sad. I had it being a low scoring game. It was the exact opposite. And we can't win a shootout when it comes down to trusting the defense at the end. 3rd and 8. Nathan Gerry shouldn't have been on the field. It should have been a dime package. He should have had 2 safeties and 4 corners. That's it. So you play that package. You don't have Nathan Gerry on the field. It's just, it was just like a storybook ending of how the Eagles season's been going. How the season's been going. The Cincinnati Bengal tie, disgusting. The Washington football team let down, disgusting. And the rally back and lose this way is just it's heartbreaking. And it goes to show that this team is much more than Carson Wentz. People want to grind Carson Wentz for every bad throw he does. It's more than Carson Wentz. We don't run the ball. When we do run the ball, it's boring. We got that 75-yard.
Hold on, real fast, because we kind of shout out to Joey, my guy, man. Joey, shake squad up. What's going on, man? If y'all having something that do, make sure y'all something that do. But let me get into something real fast. At the end of the half, what was you thinking, Doug? Like, this is why I said this is on the this loss is on the coaches. At the end of the half, you haven't really run the ball at all this year, and you choose to run the ball 2nd down only to burn a timeout. When it's a minute and something change left. Now, I get you. I seen you on your line, Mike. You got on Hightower. That was a rookie mistake. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. He shouldn't have did it. But Doug Peterson, you have been a head coach for 5 years. Why do you run the ball only to burn a timeout? If we have that timeout, that pass to JJ Arthur-Whiteside, we good. That's a field goal. Then we go into the game with we go into the half with some type of momentum. But you know what I mean? It was bad play calling. Correct me if I'm wrong. Anybody in the chat, Mike, correct me if I'm wrong. Did you see one rollout for Carson Wentz? I didn't see one rollout. That's a problem. I understand Carson Wentz held his ground. He stood tough in the pocket. But that's not the best quarterback that you're going to get. And he still balled. Just imagine if you would have had him on the run against these dudes. This dude sometimes was running for his life. They had 5, 6 sacks because you kept sticking him in the pocket. Now, I don't understand. You're saying that he had his best game against the 49ers when you rolled him out. But no, you want to say, I don't care that this is a blitzing defense. I don't care that this front 4 or front 7 can get at you. I don't care that this is aggressive defense. I seen no misdirections. I seen no type of end arounds. Like everything that they did to us, we should have been doing right back to them because we're aggressive defense and so are they. I don't understand what Doug is thinking. What are you looking at? Why literally everything is Manila. Even with you bringing Jalen Hurts for one play, that was Manila too. It's just that it was something different. The defense was so worried about Jalen Hurts, so you had Richard Rodgers running, and that's another thing. If you're going to run that play, have a speed guy there, not Richard Rodgers. Richard Rodgers is there to block, man. His personnel, the way he uses his players, I don't understand it with Doug, man. This loss right now is on the coaching staff. Jim Schwartz, you fumbled the ball. Doug Peterson, you fumbled the ball. We had these dudes on the rope, man. We had them on the rope. Carson Wentz was balling. Like I really didn't see I mean y'all comment, y'all see what y'all want. I think this is Carson's best game. You know what I mean? Like, hands down, I think this is the best game of the season. Like, when you look at everything that he did, we got down 2 scores. He pulled us back up. Consistent throws to Fulgham, to Greg Ward, to anybody that's available. J.J. Arthur-Whiteside at the end of the half. I seen this dude making throws that I know he can make. Facts. But the coaching, the predicament was not there, man. That is a problem. This organization will not succeed until our coaching staff gets better and sees what we see. Mike, if we see it, why the excuse me, I was about to cuss. If we see it, why the hell can't they, man? I don't get that. Go ahead.
Let me just get this. Cool Eagle with the $2.99 super chat. He said, I called that touchdown on Gerry off the rip. And same with Joey Shiggs. His thing was I called that right when he saw him line up in the slot. And shout out to Legion, if I could find it, because it's be jumping on us. Legion says, why does the Eagles defense almost always get torched by a no-name or a rookie receiver? Yes, there's always that one guy who does it. And this is the bad thing, is once they start doing it to us, we don't change up. I don't know what goes in Jim Schwartz's mind. Like, well, maybe he's getting lucky. Lucky's once, lucky's twice, maybe 3 times. But after 9 catches, you stop being lucky. It's just him beating us. And you have to find a way to not allow him to beat us. Look, if we were on 3rd and 8 and anybody else, Claypool could have caught that first down or touchdown. If it wasn't the way it happened, I would have said, dang, we battled back. We tried. It is what it is. But you put Nathan Gerry, that's like putting an alcoholic in a room with an open glass. And like, don't do it. If you do it, it's your fault. Nathan Gerry sucks, but we can't blame him no more. He's not good. He's not getting better in pass coverage, but we continue to put him out there. It's our fault. It's all fault. Can't even say the word. It's our fault as a coaching staff. Doug Peterson has to step over Jim Schwartz's head and get this man out the game. But look, I also want to talk about this. Doug Peterson is a guy who got back to being aggressive in the 49ers game and going for it. I said this in my play-by-play. That 57-yard field goal, I wouldn't have done it. If we were home, I would be content with a 57-yard field goal. But in Heinz Field, a spot where, the grass is always a little bit, I wouldn't have done it. I would have went for it on 4th and 5 there. But at home, I would have kicked the field goal. That's just my thoughts. Let me get the super chat and let me know what you think about that field goal. Because again, at home, I would have kicked a 57-yarder. But on the road, especially with the offense being that potent, at that point where Travis Fulgham was getting open no matter what, I would have went for it. But shout out to Jalen Williams. He said, excluding Sanders, Sweat, and the young offensive line, nobody drafted in the past 3 years contributed. Howie, that's you. And Jim gotta go. Correct. You see bits and pieces of contributions from our last 3 years of draft picks. We cannot draft. We cannot stay healthy. And we do not know how to play situational football. In that situation, Nathan Gerry should have been off the field. 100%. Let me get this last super chat and then I'm going to let you go. Solo Bowler with the $4.99 super chat. Appreciate you guys for the super chat. Best thing Howie did was what he didn't do. Extend Ertz. That might be looking like a fact. Because Zach Ertz.
We need to talk about him.
Before you go, I want you to give me your take on Zach Ertz, but also answer that field goal question. But listen.
No. I'm saying later on in the chat we need to talk about him.
Right. But also, I want to say this though. Zach Ertz was asked to stay in and block a lot. You saw that too, right? He was staying in and blocking a lot, whether it be at the tight end position or even at like the fullback. He came back and sat in like a fullback position a couple times and asked to block. But still, 1 catch, 6 yards. You can't ask for money. You can't ask for money. 1 catch, 6 yards, you can't ask for money.
Once again, that goes to the coaching staff. Like, why? He is a horrible blocker, man. Like, he gets blown up. Like, you seen what happened with Killings last week. Like, he was the main reason why that play got blown up and probably why Killings had got cut. Like, so to go back what you asked me about the field goal, Mike. Yeah. I ain't gonna lie, I didn't disagree. I understand it's like, damn, like, be aggressive, Doug. But with the field goal, you take the lead. And I think he felt as though he owed him that one because of the Cincinnati situation. So it's like, I need everybody to have confidence because we're still going on a long stretch here. You know what I mean? We still got one. That's what I'm saying. We need everybody on deck. We need everybody with the mindset. And when you think about it, what field goals has he kicked since then? So you're trying to get your guys back to where they need to be. You know what I mean? I don't really got no problem with it. And I don't have no problem that you got a problem with it. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I'm 50-50 on it. You know what I mean? If we make it, we probably still lose the game because of everything that we just talked about. And let me tell you something real fast. Shout out to John Clark, man. He just tweeted. He said Ben Roethlisberger was 13 for 13, 158 yards, and 2 touchdowns on third down. That is not going to win you any games.
Correct.
At all. The defensive line was getting at this guy, right? In the beginning of the game. Now, they found a way to get the ball out of their hands fast. Now, what is your counter to that, Jim? Your counter, I'm going to tell you what your counter should be. And I'm going to tell you what you didn't do. And I'm going to tell you what you should do. Your counter should have been, if y'all don't want to know why I'm wearing this hood, man, because it's Grim Reaper Fresher Day. I'm coming from somebody's head. I'm coming to all people, man, like seriously. And it's the coaches. Jim, if you see Ben is getting the ball out of his hands fast, why in the hell are you playing 8 yards back? Why do you have these guys playing 8 yards back, playing this dumbass zone when you know the pressure is there? Now, after a while, the pressure stopped being there because it's just boom, boom, boom. So they get pressure for nothing. No, take away his first read, play bump and run coverage. Like, I don't understand what the hell Jim doesn't see. Why, if I see a guy who has never coached a defensive day in my life, I played linebacker for 1 year. I don't know what the hell I know what I'm talking about. I know what I see, but I don't know what the hell I'm doing. So why can't you see that? Why can't you see that you take away the first read, bump and run coverage, so your defensive line can get upfield? The defensive line was tired by the middle of the third quarter. Fletcher Cox was not in and out, but he got hurt. He came back. But you seen the defensive line slowing down. And shout out to whoever was calling the game. I heard him say it. He said that they're going to run slant routes. They're going to get the ball out of Ben Roethlisberger's hands. So by the third quarter, this defensive line will be tired. And that's what happened. Jim, I just don't understand what's going on. Doug, I don't understand what you are thinking. Such a Manila play call, man. Like, you mix things up against the 49ers.
Your thing's starting to like kind of freeze up a little bit. You're going in and out.
I'm good, y'all. Give me a thumbs up, y'all. I'm good. Give me a thumbs up.
You're just like you're like delayed a little bit.
I'm good, y'all. Give me a thumbs up. Come on. Let me know y'all can hear me. Because I'm on a rant right now. I ain't playing.
We can hear you just a little bit delayed, but you were kind of messing up. But go ahead. Finish your thing.
Yeah. So basically what I'm saying is, Jim, I don't understand what you're saying. Doug, I don't understand what you're saying. No rollouts for your quarterback? I understand you try to roll the ball. I seen one screen against this aggressive defense. This defense likes to rush up and get to the quarterback. Why don't you counter that by running screens? You ran one screen the whole game, and it worked. I don't understand what the play calling was. I don't understand a lot of these things, man. I seen Carson Wentz stick it out. I seen Carson Wentz get hit, get back up, make play after play. I see Fulgham. Oh my gosh, he played the best at wide receiver I've seen since probably Deshaun Jackson and Macklin was here. Like, this dude looked like the real deal. That's one good that we got going on for us, man. This dude looks like really the real deal, man. Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, Travis Fulgham. I mean, he looks legit. Number 13. I did a play-by-play, and I was telling everybody in my play-by-play, if we come out and win this game, I'm doing a free giveaway for a Travis Fulgham jersey. And we lost the game, so I don't know if I'm going to do it, but I still might do it anyways. Somebody in this subscriber pool of mine needs to be rocking a TF 13 number jersey. Anyway, shout out to CW Gearhead. He said, man, I had with the $5 super chat, may I add. Man, I had high hopes for Gerry after last year, what he did in coverage, but it's like he totally changed to be more of a run stop and tackler than through coverage. Again, look, talking about a guy who led the Eagles last year in interceptions, played great coverage. He comes out and is the exact opposite. He's still not a great tackler. He's better, but he can't cover nothing now. And so at the end of the day, it's disgusting. Look, I can't get mad at Gerry no more. When he's in the game playing bad, we know he stinks. But the coaches keeping him in, it's on them. Jim Schwartz had so many defensive blunders in this game. Like, there were times where he was playing back a deep zone. He's playing Darius Slay back in a deep zone. He's the back end coverage guy. So he's dropping back into coverage, and somebody gets a 3rd and 11 on him. They get a 3rd and 11. They throw a 15-yard pass on 3rd and 11, and he gets the catch wide open because Darius Slay's asked to play a part of the field that doesn't really matter. Listen, y'all watch the game. Now, I know as a D coordinator and a defensive back, you got to keep in your mind that they might hit you with a double move out of nowhere. But how many shots did the Steelers take? They weren't taking shots. It was all slants. Even the big Claypool touchdown was a 15-yard catch, ran in for 30 yards. Look, this team is bad at tackling. This team does not execute. The coaching staff don't put these guys in the right position. A la Rasul Douglas over here playing lights out for Carolina. Look, we got problems. And a lot of people still, even in my play-by-play, was coming at Carson Wentz for the couple things he did wrong this game. Like, we're way past that. Let's be honest. We're way past a couple things. The interception was bad because we came out of it. Our defense allowed a touchdown ASAP Rocky, and Carson threw an interception. I understand that. However, it wasn't him. It was the lackadaisy call that could have been a pass interference.
That should have been.
Yeah.
No, it ain't no could have been. It should have been. Like, I don't know. Like, I need everybody. And if anybody that was in the chat, shout out to Mike doing the play-by-play. I don't know how the hell he do it. I can't do it. I'll be snapping during the games. Like, my wife, my kids, they get away from me. I go crazy. Like, I don't know how he does it. But shout out to him for that. If anybody was in the chat saying that's in here right now, I really need you to look at that play again. If you've recorded it or if you're going to wait till the All-22 come out, I really need you to watch that play again because I did. I watched it about 6 times. The first time I seen it, the angle that they got on Zach Ertz, you don't see him getting hit before the touchdown. I'm just like, what the hell is Carson was throwing? What is that? Then they played it again. And I'm like, oh. Zach Ertz literally got bumped and hit off his route, which was illegal. Like, I've seen so many bad plays. At first, I ain't gonna lie, I was going to blame this on the refs. I ain't gonna lie. Like, before that whole Jim Schwartz thing with touchdown on it, I was gonna blame this if we lost on the refs. It was so much bad call. First of all, can we talk about that Darius Slay PI? Like, can we talk about that?
Like 5 minutes later, right? Like, look, the play was done. There was no flag. I'm over here talking. Look, when I was doing the play-by-play, I watched the play-by-play, and as soon as the play's over and I see there's no flag, I see the ref doing this, incomplete. I stop there. I start talking to the chat. I'm like, let me talk about the chat. I look back in the corner of my eye. I see a really late yellow flag thing pop up. I'm like, huh? How you call 5 minutes later?
Yeah, that was horrible. Even some calls that we got to come towards us. I'm even kill dude. You know what I mean? When it's wrong, it's wrong. I seen some plays. First of all, when Carson Wentz got sacked and the guy hit him, and that 15 yards, no, that was bad. You know what I mean? I seen some plays, man. I seen some bad holding calls that wasn't holding. I seen some phantom plays, man, and that's not the reason that we lost this game, though, y'all. I can't put this on the rest because we still had a chance to win the game.
Facts.
And I gotta give Strat some of this, man. Strat, you gotta get some of this smoke, man. To miss that tackle on 3rd and 8 when they went up and scored. Yeah, 3rd and 8 when he missed the tackle.
It was like 3rd and 4, 3rd and 6, I think, and he missed a tackle on Ebron. You're right.
He missed the tackle. That set up the touchdown before the Claypool touchdown, which
that set up the end around for like 65 yards inside to our 5. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he scored damn near every touchdown, so it don't matter. The Claypool touchdown.
Yeah, the team guts him down there and then finished with Claypool.
But to come out in the half and to get a friend out like that, I think it was like 4 plays, if I'm not mistaken, because I think they got 1 first down. But to come out and to do that, and then you just miss on that, like you need to go straight. Like half of this team needs to go straight to the tackling machine. Other than Jalen Mills, Darius Slay, who I hope is healthy. Oh my gosh, man, we cannot afford for him to be out. Jalen Mills, Ronnie McLeod, Darius Slay, exception from them, and Kayvon Wallace too. I think Kayvon Wallace balling a little bit. Other than that, I need everybody just to get on that tackling machine. Like I need you to tackle that dummy until you can't tackle no more, until your shoulder hurts. Like seriously, I don't understand. Like LeBlanc, like what? Like how do you miss that? Like and it's not like he was going full speed. He juked you or anything. You just whiffed. That to me, that was the deciding factor of the game. Even though we still had chances to win the game after that. But that right there is a killer because we come out in the half and we stop them. Carson was already in them. He feeling it now. They can't stop Fulgham. You know what I mean? He was making play after play after play. And if y'all want to talk about Carson Wentz, what is there really to talk about that he did wrong?
Yeah, that's what I wanted to address this real quick. Now y'all smoking. Wentz needs to realize our line is young and can't hold the ball with that line. Let me say this, correct. But he didn't. In this game, he wasn't holding the ball long. And even when he was holding the ball long, he was able to avoid sacks. So you're talking about holding the ball only matters when you get sacked. You can hold the ball, and if you avoid a sack, nobody's crying over that. So at the end of the day, Carson Wentz got sacked, 3, 4 times, and most of them, and like maybe 2 of them on that last play, which didn't really matter. He did a good job knowing when to get the ball out and when to extend it. Also, you got to remember, if you're in the pocket because your head coach don't roll you out, if nobody's open, you can't throw the ball away from the pocket. People in my live chat were telling me throw the ball away. He's in the pocket. If you throw the ball away in the pocket, it's called intentional grounding. If you try to throw the ball close to a receiver, it could be a pick. So at the end of the day, Carson Wentz made some mishaps. But to me, this was a well put together game by Carson Wentz when you look at the line that was blocking for him and everything that he did. Listen, the Eagles haven't scored more than 25 all season, and we got to 25 last game because of a pick 6. So the offense pretty much scored 17, 18, 17, 19. This team against a Pittsburgh Steelers defense that's played really good because guess what? In the last 23 games, the Steelers have never scored more than 30 points. So that's a shot at our defense, not our offense. The Steelers haven't scored over 30 in 23 games. That's almost 2 years. And we allowed them to score 30. That's a shot to our defense. And we should have got blown out. But oh, by the way, the Carson Wentz and the offense were able to keep up with the Steelers offense. So I think when you look at this thing in a vacuum, the offense could have did some stuff better. I do not like that Doug Peterson did not roll Carson Wentz out. However, I'm going to negate the rolling out just because we scored 30, almost 30 points, 28. So I will give Doug a pass, but he has to roll Carson out. It's better that way. No, I know you're saying no. And all through my live, I was saying, wait, am I drunk or something? Because how many rollouts have y'all seen? We haven't done it. However, the defense is responsible for this loss. Simple and plain. 5 times they scored touchdowns in consecutive. They scored a first touchdown, and they scored another touchdown, Then they got the 3 points. Then they came out of halftime and scored a touchdown, and they got the pick. If you're a defensive player and you know that the last 5 times in a row the Steelers touched the ball, they came away with points, you got to feel disgusted. Touchdown, touchdown, field goal, touchdown, touchdown. That was 5 consecutive drives, and we couldn't match it.
This is what I need everybody to do. Stop listening to them announcers, okay? Sometimes them announcers don't know what the hell they talking about. Seriously, like, and I'm not just saying this just about Carson Wentz. I'm just saying that, period. A lot of the times, these dudes don't know what the heck they talking about. They getting paid just to talk, and they talk live, and they say a lot of things that don't make sense, but they're live, and people listen to them. Let me tell you something. You cannot sit here and say, damn, look at Carson Wentz. Look at the play he did when he broke a tackle, and then he slings the football to Hightower for 15 yards. But then he does the same thing three plays later or a series later, and he gets sacked. You have to take the good with the bad with that, because we got to understand this is who Carson Wentz is. You still have to make sure that you protect him. And I felt as though he wasn't protected. The offensive line, even though they gave up 5 sacks, the offensive line was put in a lot of different spots to where as though they could have just folded. And I'm really going to shout them out. You know what I mean? Because even though they gave up 5 sacks, I seen some type of blitzes that I'm like, damn, I don't know how many offensive line could hold that. But you know how you stop these things? By running screens. You know how they stop these things? By running quick slants. You know how you stop these things? By rolling your quarterback out. This is why I have a problem with Doug. And I get what you're saying. You're saying, oh, we put up these points. We put up these points because Fulgham and Carson was balling. That's why we put up these points, bro. Like, it wasn't no scheme. It wasn't none of that. It was Carson Wentz standing in the pocket, getting hit after hit, but still having the fortitude to still get the ball down the field. Now, you want to talk about some misses to Hightower. I thought as though he didn't miss. The one play on the long run, Hightower stumbled. And I'm like, damn. Once I seen the stumble, I said, damn, that's going to mess up the connect. It takes the littlest thing for a 72-yard touchdown to turn into an incomplete pass. Like, seriously, especially in the NFL. I felt as though he threw a perfect ball to Hightower in the end zone. I think it was like a 50-yard pass. Like, I seen Carson Wentz willing and dealing today. And it seemed like he's starting to get his mojo back. I don't know why it happens with these young guys and not dudes like Deshaun Jackson, because I feel as though that one play, the first one I was talking about, the Hightower, where Hightower stumbled, if Deshaun Jackson's in there, Deshaun Jackson hit his head on the goalpost. But yet and still, I felt as though Carson Wentz stood his ground, and he went toe-to-toe with a guy that I'm pretty sure he respects. You know what I mean? The run game was not working. It wasn't. I'm not going to sit here and try to lie to you. The one play, we caught them slipping. 3rd and 9, it was a draw. They was slipping. Other than that, we probably only had like 11 rushing yards. Think about that. We probably only got like 11 rushing yards. There,
it was back to the line, loss of one, back to the line.
Yeah, so now a lot of people were saying Doug's not running the ball. Now, here's my thing. Doug should have ran the ball, but you should have ran the ball more creatively. You see how they was killing us? Why can't you do things like that? It's not like you don't have speed guys in Quez Watkins and Hightower. It's not like you don't have dudes that can do different things. It's not like you don't have a Boston Scott that can run screens. Corey Clement, I don't want to see him in the game ever again. One of them sacks, Corey Clement totally missed the blitz.
Missed the block.
I don't know what are you looking at? I don't want to see Corey Clement on this field again. I'm sorry, y'all. I understand. Super Bowl champion, 100 yards. But that is past. It's over for him, man. I don't want to see him. It's time to bring up Holyfield or Warren today, because Miles Sanders Miles Sanders is a complete back, but you still need that bruiser. And Miles Sanders is not that bruiser. I think if you have a guy like Holyfield who can just bum rush and hurt the defensive line or the linebackers and go straight at them because they're aggressive. You know what I mean? I think that wears on a defense, and we don't have that right now. It's time to find that. It's time to bring up these dudes. I don't want to see Corey Clement again, man. Seriously, go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, no, I agree. Listen, Corey Clement has shown in his limited snaps that he can't run the ball. He's just out of sync, out of touch with society. I mean, the blocking schemes are horrible. This ain't the first time he missed a block, but it was a huge one. Look, Corey Clement time in Philly is done. I mean, even Boston Scott being a little big guy would have been able to block a lot better. But look, it comes down to this. We were a little bit sloppy on the offense and defense side of the ball when it comes to penalties. Preferably the defensive side of the ball, multiple offsides, multiple defensive pass interferences. If they were good or not, yes, I understand the refs had a little bit to do with some blown calls here. We got a couple ourselves. But look, it comes down to not being the better coaching's team. The coach, Doug Peterson versus Mike Tomlin, we got out-coached. They were creative. They had spice. Now, again, we couldn't roll them out. We could or not. I don't know. I don't care at this point. What I do care about is the lack of running and the lack of creativity in the run game. And also, if you're not going to run, use the pass game to be a staple of the run game. Throw the ball out the flats to Miles Sanders against guys who are, again, screens will work against a blitzing team, but also running the ball out to the flats. Against the 49ers, Carson Wentz was in a blitz. He threw the ball to Miles Sanders behind the line of scrimmage, and he took it 30 yards up the field. That is stuff we could have seen.
Then you don't do it again.
Yes, this is stuff we could have seen against this defense. We weren't taking advantage of that. We were able to stay in this game because of the connection of Carson Wentz and Travis Fulgham that got built in this game. So look, you don't take many losses with something good out of it, but we got a guy in Travis Fulgham who I think we're going to be able to build on that. I think we still can get some guys back healthy. I'm not holding my breath for Alshon and Djax, but at the end of the day, this defense that was first in sacks, second when it comes to a per game basis, didn't show up. And we didn't show up on the back end. I'm talking about the linebackers and all the secondary help. Because listen, there was multiple times in this game I saw the D line get pressure, but there was somebody open in the secondary and they just threw a pass. Big Ben got rescued.
That scheme though, bro. Like
yeah. We played too far. We played too far off. But there was times where I saw the D line get pressure in the first 2 seconds, and the ball gets thrown to an open guy, and it's like, bro, the D line can't go to work if you don't hold your position a little bit longer. Look, the scheme is bad, and we got some bad play by the cornerbacks this game. Crevion LeBlanc with a key missed tackle, and it wasn't even like Ebron was about to run through you. Ebron was blindsided. You were hitting his back. You were hitting his back. He caught the ball. Wasn't even facing you. Tackle this man. And it was huge because next play, end around to number 14. Don't know his name. 65 yards to the 5. Like, look, this team on defense looked very bad. Very bad. All levels outside the D-line. And the D-line got beat with some end arounds because of how aggressive we are to try to stop the run, which we held James Conner in the check. We're not going to win games if we're asking 4 backup offensive linemen, all these backup wide receivers, which still played good, but we should be winning because of our defense and the offense keeping it flowing. We can't. I'm glad our offense almost put up 30, but if we got to put up 30 with our offense, we're not going to win because we're not going to be able to do that more as much as we want to. We're not that potent of an offense at this point. We need our defense to play football, and it's not there. It didn't come out. 5 consecutive plays. 5 consecutive drives were touchdowns or field goals. You can't win that way.
Yeah, you're definitely right about that. I seen some plays though. I seen some dog out of, especially in the first half. Well, really the first quarter. I seen some dog out of this defense. But then once
the first and fourth quarter, they were dog. Second and third, they were what you were eating, barbecue chicken all across the field.
Exactly. Now, like I said, hopefully Slay, he whatever it was, man. I hope he get well soon, fast, because we going to need him. You know what I mean? But yeah, you're right. The rest of the defense, especially Nathan Gerry, barbecue chicken, y'all. Barbecue chicken. I'm gonna keep saying it. Here's the thing, real fast, right? Since you know that they're barbecue chicken, what is your scheme? What is it that you're trying to do different? What are you trying to do? You're first of all, that one blitz, I don't know if it was for a touchdown, but I think it was third down. I'm sitting there like I see Nathan Gerry coming. It's nothing disguised. Nothing is disguised. I see Nathan Gerry coming. I see Curvy on a block coming. You think Ben don't see it too? So he switched the play. He literally switches the play. And what do? They still do the same thing. Counter, counter, counter. That's how a lot of boxers win fights. And this was supposed to be a fight. And it was a fight until the fourth quarter. This was really a dog fight. When you look at the defensive lines going to battle, when you look at just the defense period going to battle, when you look at the quarterbacks going to battle, when you look at two wide receivers, only two. If you want, there's nobody else that you can talk about on the offensive side of the football other than Fulgham and Claypool. It was two dudes going to battle a boxing match. You have to try to make sure that you come up victorious, man. Now, what did they do? I don't know if y'all seen it. What did they do third down? The last offensive play that we had. What did they do? They put their best corner on a dude that's cooking. That's what they did, right? Why can't we do things like that? Why is it? And I understand Slay is out, cool. But before Slay was out, Claypool, yeah, he had a couple receptions. First of all, he had a holding pass interference that was bull crap. But anyway, I seen Darius Slay still sticking to Juju Smith-Schuster. He's not balling right now. He's not the guy that Ben Roethlisberger is looking for. He is literally looking for Claypool because he's cooking. So you make sure that you put Darius Slay on him until things change. That's all I need to see, because we seen it on a fourth down. That was a dumb behind play, first of all. You know what I mean? I didn't understand. I mean, third down, sorry, before the field goal and in the fourth quarter. I didn't understand that play. I don't understand. Once again, you use your talent. Why aren't you rolling out Carson Wentz? I wouldn't even mind if you brought Jalen Hurts in on that play. Not to throw the ball, not to be under center, but just to confuse, because you put him in one time and it confused the heck out of defense. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to confuse you again. Why is it that when things work, you stray away from it, Doug? I don't understand it. Why is it when things are not working, you keep doing it, Jim? I don't understand it. It's remedial to me, and it's insanity. Stop doing the same things and expecting different results. Because when you do that, you go crazy. Just like how I am right now. I'm literally mind blown right now, man. I don't understand why they don't understand what we all see. Most of us in this chat, me and you, shout out to Gay City that's not here right now. He sees the same things, man. Like, I'm texting people. People are literally telling me things that I know, but at the same time, it's like, why don't y'all know it?
Facts.
Jet, why don't you know it? What?
Real quick, shout out to Lenny D for the $5 super chat. He said, we play favoritism when the best players are waiting in the background and play better than the starters. Look, it's getting to that point where we just got to see the next man who's going to make the play when we constantly see a guy who can't do it. He just can't do it. Look, shout out to all 244 in the chat. We are live on two channels, the Philly Tall Podcast and Philly Fresher channel. Make sure wherever you're watching it, do us a favor. It's been a horrible Sunday so far, because to catch back up and to lose, if Claypool catches over Jalen Mills, Craig James, any cornerback, I'm still mad. But I'm like, at least we tried. But to really put our worst defender on the best player on their team at that point of the game was disgusting. A linebacker on a guy who's as strong and big as a tight end, but runs a 4.43. He's as fast as Hightower. That was disgusting. But smash that like button wherever you're watching it. It's free. It's easy. And if you're a Steeler fan in here, well, go ahead and smash the dislike button. At this point, I don't care. As long as you're smashing something, show some love, show some support to either team you're rocking with. But Eagle fans in here, get them likes up for wherever you're watching it. We appreciate you 100%. We're going to rock out for a little bit more because I do want to watch some good football for the rest of my Sunday. But yeah, man, look, it comes down to this. The defense was horrible. When you allow 30-plus points, it's bad. It's bad. And the only way you beat that is if you outshoot them. And this team right now is not built to outshoot teams. Once we get fully healthy, maybe we can outshoot. We got a Dallas Goedert. We got a Deshaun Jackson. Or forget Deshaun Jackson. Listen, at this point, I will take this. Deshaun Jackson and Alshon Jeffrey, will they help us out? Maybe. But they're old and not trustworthy. But this team, imagine this. You got Zach Ertz, Dallas Goedert. You got Travis Fulgham, who, if he can duplicate a game like this, is our legit X receiver. And then you got the young Jalen Reagor, who's on IR. So yes, Deshaun Jackson and Alshon Jeffrey, I guess I'll take them, but maybe not. Because if you got Travis Fulgham, Jalen Reagor, Dallas Goedert, Zach Ertz, and Miles Sanders, you got a formidable offense. Now, I'm talking about shooting out with the Steelers. But no Dallas Goedert, no Jalen Reagor, 4 backup offensive linemen. We needed the defense to help us out, and they never came home from San Fran. They still on the plane from San Fran. They didn't make the travel. You're talking about 5 points, 5 drives that ended in points back to back to back to back to back. And I probably said that only 4 times. I don't care at this point, but you can't do that. You got to get a stop. Now, we got some stops in the first quarter, some stops in the fourth quarter. That's why we got back into the game. But the defense gave up 5 consecutive touchdowns. And then on the most important play of the game, 3rd and 8, Gerry lined up against the guy who got 3, not 1, not 2, but 3 touchdowns. You put Gerry on him? Shame on you. And you see, look, before the play, the chicken was full. But when they hiked the ball, it was nothing but bone left on that meat.
Barbecue chicken, man.
Wait, real quick. Shout out to my guy, Big Chaotic, with a $9.99 super chat. He said Andy Wentz has to go. He's not going to get us there. It is what it is, but Schwartz and Doug got to go too. Listen, I think Carson played a pretty darn good game. That pick to Zach Ertz was either pass interference and or Zach Ertz not being, it was a timing route. Carson was throwing at an area and he got pushed off his mark. Some people say it was pass interference. Some people don't. But it wasn't a poor throw by Carson. And that last interception, we pretty much punted it. It was 4th and 20. We don't got Freddie Mitchell out there. We ain't getting
that's just Carson don't give a damn about the stats. He wants to win. Listen, what's his name? Big what?
Big Chaotic, I think.
Big Chaotic. Let me ask you a question real fast. Put how many quarterbacks can you put in that position with a bunch of practice squad guys? He has none of his starters at wide receiver. None of them. Think about that. Deshaun Jackson gone. Alshon Jeffrey gone. Reagor gone. His offensive line has been, this is the first time he had a consecutive offensive line that played, and then Lane Johnson goes out. You know what I mean? You got dudes, you have a dude that 3 years ago didn't know how to put on a football helmet. None of it, knee pads, he didn't know how to put on none of that. You got Herbig, who's Then you got Kelsey. Kelsey, I gotta break down tape. I don't know how good he played. I gotta break down tape. He didn't have no missteps. Shout out to that. Then you got Matt Pryor, another backup. Lane Johnson goes down, like I said again. And then they bring in another kid that's cool that hasn't that's been in and out this whole season and has injuries himself. And you still do what you did again. This is supposed to be the number one defense, right? Mike, am I right? This is what they were saying.
The best D-line we're playing against minus the Washington football team.
No, I'm not talking about defense. I'm talking about defense, period. They got them ranked number 1 or number 2. This is what they had. Yeah. And Carson Wentz does that? What else do you need him? What else do you want him to do? How is it Carson Wentz's fault? Do you not see that they're not rolling him out? Do you not see that the pocket is collapsing? And he's starting to, and shout out to him for this, he is actually starting to step up into the pocket instead of just running to the right and running to the left. He's seen him coming on the edge. I've seen him step up into the pocket multiple times, throwing deep football. And that's another thing. You have a guy in Hightower that stumbled on one, and I'm not gonna put no dispersions on him about that. That happens. But he literally threw a 50-yard touchdown that was dropped again. Once again, I think Hightower is a good talent, but it's still a dropped touchdown. He put that thing on the money. You know what I mean? And you just want to get on Carson, talking about trade Carson. What are you seeing when you look at the football field? I don't understand it. Like, what are you saying?
Let me just say this real quick to Big Chaotic. Listen, you're right in the sense of that. Wilson or Mahomes, we wouldn't be 1-3-1 because let me say this. Wait. Carson Wentz played bad in the Bengals game and the Washington football game. And if we just had a better version, if we just had him a little bit better, we would win them games. But here's the thing.
Yeah, I say that. Yeah, I give you that.
Correct. Listen.
But we talking about the day.
Correct. Let me just say this. Carson Wentz in the whole season has had a bunch of bad games in the beginning of the season. Even a Carson Wentz supporter and myself will say Carson Wentz was playing horrible week 1 and week 3. And you could even say week 2. But there's been a different Carson Wentz in the Niners game, even with the picks, and the Steelers game. We've seen a guy who was doing stuff with players who, again, are backups in this league and making them better. Now, I will say this. If Carson Wentz just gives you a C- or C+ game against the footballers or the Bengals, we win them too. So then we are 3-1-1. You know, we lose to the Rams because the Rams beat us in all facets. They beat us and our defense couldn't stop them. They just beat us all throughout the game. But we should have won the Washington football game and the Cincinnati game, and we would be 3-1-1. And then this wouldn't look as bad. Again, Carson put us in them predicaments, but since then, he's been playing a lot better, more to the Carson we know, the creator, the move around the pocket, get it done type guy, and the defense and or the plays around them have been also part of the problem. Since that, we beat the Niners. But if you look at this game, give me something that Carson Wentz actually did bad in this game. In this game, the worst thing he did was throw the interception after halftime, which I honestly put it on a timing / should have been called PI fault. Like, it wasn't him. It wasn't Carson dropping back, feeling the pressure. And what are you doing? So Carson Wentz played a good game, a pretty darn good game in this game regarding that Travis Fulgham, who's pretty good. But where was this his whole career? I mean, he's been places. He had Stafford throwing to him. He had Rodgers. He couldn't get on the field. He's on the field for us because all the people off the field. So it comes down to Carson Wentz played good in this game. He played good against the Niners. But let me be the first to say to you, we should be 3-1-1 if Carson played good football early. And again, nobody had an off season, but some people need it more than others. And I'm going to chalk it up to, well, he needed it. And he did play bad. But we got to give him the benefit of the doubt. Until he plays bad more games than he plays good, I'm going to rock with him. And until he's not our friend and not our starting quarterback, I'm going to rock with him.
I mean, real fast with his last comment. Can I read his last one before we even go to the next one? Because he's getting all the love right now. Who? You know what I mean? You just brought up Big Chaotic again.
Yeah, you were. Go ahead.
No, real fast, man. You bring up Lamar Jackson. You bring up Mahomes. You bring up Russell Wilson. Do you want to know the difference between them and Carson Wentz? It's coaching. It's scheme. How about you look at that instead of just looking at the numbers? Because I'm pretty sure that's what most people do. I'm not saying that's what you do. Be chaotic, but at the same time, you can't just look at the end of the game and look at his stat sheet and say, "Oh, Mahomes had this." First of all, Mahomes just lost and just threw a pick at the end of the game. Did you see that? Did you see that? Because I did. So don't tell me like every quarterback is just flawless and Carson Wentz has a problem. That's number one. Number two, well, back to my number one, should I say. The scheme is a problem. You want to know why Patrick Mahomes flourished? Because Andy Reid puts him in a position to flourish. Andy Reid gets him out the pocket, gets him rolling out, has speed all around him. Once again, I guarantee Patrick Mahomes will not look like how he looked, an MVP caliber player, if he loses Tyreek Hill, if he loses Kelsey, if he loses Hardman or who they next receiver. I can't even remember right now, man.
Well, Marcus Robinson is our 5th round receiver, and he would start for the Philadelphia Eagles as the number 1 besides Travis Fulgham. But listen, real quick, before you continue going, nobody's comparing Carson to Mahomes. Mahomes is legit the either best quarterback to Russell Wilson. It's either 1 Mahomes and 2 Wilson or 1 Wilson, 2 Mahomes. We know that. However, what he's saying is, look at Mahomes. Had all his weapons and gets beat by double digits to the Raiders. You know who Derek Carr's weapons are? You don't know, because it's Nelson Aguilar and a bunch of just random guys. The Raiders don't have guys. So look, we're not comparing to Mahomes, but Mahomes just got beat with all his weapons. Carson played a good game this game. Has he played good all season? No. Capital N, capital O. If you've been watching my channel, listen, these are people who are just jumping in here now. We got people who've been riding with us for a year, 6 months, 3 months. If you go back and watch my film breakdown on Carson after the Bengals game, after the Washington game, after the Rams game, I said he played trash. But I'm not ready to take a decision that is huge for the organization when it comes to money and the future and to bench him for Jalen Hurts. I refuse to bench him for Jalen Hurts when he was on a 3-game blunder, because it's a organizational decision that's going to affect us for years to come, money-wise and just everything-wise. So I was saying I have to see Carson Wentz continue to suck to make that educated guess. And in that time, he got a W against the Niners, and he played a good game against the Steelers. I said, if we win this game, I would have said, if you told me we scored 28, I think we win, because I thought our defense was going to be better. I didn't think our defense was going to allow 30 plus to a team that hasn't scored 30 points in 23 games. Let's keep that in context. The Steelers haven't scored 30 points in 23 games. That's going back. That's almost a year. That's at least a year of football. They haven't scored more than 30, but they do it against our defense. So it comes down to Carson Wentz ain't going to outduel Ben Roethlisberger. Just look at their weapons compared to ours. You got Juju, Claypool, and Deontay Johnson, who went down again. Deontay Johnson goes down. That's why Claypool got the run. Another Victor Cruz all over again. We get backup receiver to come in and just ball out on us. And I said that during the pregame. I was like, Victor Cruz was nobody. We knocked down 3 of the receivers. He comes in and balls out. Well, now Deontay Johnson goes out, and here comes Claypool, because Claypool's only their red zone threat, really.
Yo, shout out to all of y'all in this chat, giving Nathan Gerry the business. I've seen people say trade him for coffee, trade him for Windows 95. There's a whole bunch of stuff that you don't even need. I mean, and it seems like we really don't need Nathan Gerry, and I don't understand. But once again, that's coaching. I mean, what you want Nathan Gerry to do?
Yeah.
He's a bum. He's a bum. But once again, you got to look at the coaching. If I know he's a bum, if most of y'all in the chat know he's a bum, why Jim don't see that?
Schwartz. We blame Schwartz. But let me just say this one quick thing about something. Again, week 1, week 2, week 3, I said, I don't care if Carson Wentz is throwing to XFL players. You can't throw the balls he was throwing. He was missing players wide open. He was throwing into double coverage. He was making mistakes that are beyond the players playing with him. I gave him all that smoke. However, I think he played pretty good this game. That's all I'm saying. So the excuses, I said there is no excuse for why Carson's playing bad. Because it's not bad like, ooh, Carson threw a good pass and it was a tip ball interception. Carson overthrew Miles Sanders. He missed Zach Ertz multiple times. He threw in a double coverage to J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. He threw to Zach Ertz inside shoulder instead of the outside shoulder in the Bengals game. These were all horrible throws. But if you're just coming on my channel now talking about why are you defending him, well, you haven't watched me for the 4 weeks where I was giving him the smoke. But it's an in the moment type conversation. I can't talk about what Carson Wentz did week 1, 2, week 3 in the post game of the Steelers. What I'm talking about now is Carson Wentz and the offense were the bright spot, and the defense was straight trash. Go ahead, Philly Fresh.
Somebody just commented, you know what I mean? It was a minute ago. I've been trying to bring it up, but you know.
What do you say? Who is it?
I don't know. It was a minute ago, bro. They said, Fresh said Carson Wentz is the best player in the NFC East. And I still feel that way. It's nothing that you can tell me. You know what I mean? Until I'm proven wrong. Because I look at it, right? You want to talk about who's better than in the NFC East. You want to talk about it? You want to say Zeke? Okay. I mean, that could be argued. You want to say Dak? Oh, hell no. Could you imagine, once again, and I'm going to keep saying this because people seem to think that just because you are a franchise quarterback and you're a quarterback of an NFL team, that if they put out trash cans and light poles, you're just supposed to make magic. No, it's not like that. And once again, it's a camaraderie thing. And I said that in the pregame. He has no camaraderie. Finally, he does 2 weeks. In the last 2 weeks, right, we've seen him have the same wide receivers. And look what he did in the second week with the same wide receivers. This is really the first time he has the same wide receiver. I'm going to keep saying that so y'all get it through your head. Carson Wentz has no camaraderie until now with his receivers, and we see what he does when he has it. You want to talk about Dak? Dak has all the talent in the world. 2,000-yard rusher, CeeDee Lamb, Zeke Elliott, a good offensive line. I understand they center him down or something like that. Oh, well, join the club. You know what I mean? You can't talk to injuries to me when it comes to the Eagles. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to, and people make that excuse for everybody but Carson. Nobody makes that excuse for Carson. Oh, well, Dak was missing his left tackle. And then, man, I ain't trying to hear that. How about you have a whole big ship line?
At this point, I will say right now, Dak is playing better than Carson this year. If you're talking, it could be because of that. But at the end of the day,
he is playing. I'm not saying that he's playing better. I'm saying who's the better player. That's different, Mike. What I'm saying is, look at what Carson Wentz. All right, Dak. You can say Dak is making lemons with lemonade. Carson Wentz is trying to get blood out of a stone, literally. Offensive line down, bad play call, wide receivers in and out, and everybody wants to say, I make excuses for Carson. No, I am giving you everything that I said are just facts. It's not like I'm sitting here saying, you know what, if Carson had this and that, he wouldn't have threw these interceptions. I didn't say that. What I'm saying is look at what he's throwing to. Look at who's protecting him. Look who's calling the plays for him. That's all I'm saying. And everything that I'm saying are facts. I'm not giving excuses. I am telling the truth. So, yes, I said Carson Wentz is the best player in the NFC East, and I stand by that until I'm proven different. Because who's better than him? Go ahead, man.
Real quick, he said, truth is, Wentz is playing average, really below average, and they're paying him top 5 money. That's not a winning formula. I will say to you, if you take the whole season in a vacuum, you're right. You're right. Because
I gave him a C. I gave him a C.
Let's just go there. Against the Washington football team, he had a great first half, but he had so many blunders in the second. He gets a D for the Washington football game. Against the Rams, he gets a D in that game. He did try to do some things. He gets a D. Against the Bengals, he got us to overtime. Still, he played really bad in the beginning. I'll give him a D plus. In the Niners game, I give him a C plus. In this game, I'll give him a B minus. But when you look in a vacuum, you get 3 Ds, a C, and a B. You're still right around a little bit below average. He's probably a C minus or a D plus for the overall grade. So Bradley, I agree. When you look at it in a vacuum, correct. I'm not going to come out here and simply tell you that Carson Wentz is the best. He's not. He hasn't been playing that way. Here's my thing. Let me say this. I've been a guy who's been saying I don't understand it when it comes to Carson Wentz has been a guy in his career who has 7 or less interceptions. So what was the change that made him go, 2017 was great, but it's over with. But 2018 wasn't that great of a season, but he had 7 or less interceptions. 2019 wasn't a great season, but he had 7 or less interceptions. What changed on Carson Wentz that he went from having 7 or less 3 years in a row to having 7 plus now? That is what I'm trying to figure out about Carson Wentz. And that has to go to a little bit of coaching, because you don't do it for 3 years straight to just not be able to do it. So that's my thing. It comes to Carson Wentz interceptions, they're momentum killers. They were at bad points in the game. We brought the Washington football team alive with the interceptions. We stopped our run against the Rams with the interceptions. We killed ourselves against the Bengals with the interceptions. This game kind of almost killed us with the interception, even though it was a Zach Ertz not being there type interception. It doesn't matter. It's still under Carson Wentz's belt. The fact of the matter is that Carson Wentz has been playing different. And so I'm just trying to see if we will ever. Right now, I'll take the 2019 Carson Wentz, which I saw today. I saw that version today. That's what I'm trying to tell you guys. It's not about me defending him all season because you haven't watched my channel. If you could look at me and say, Mike, you're talking too good of Carson, go watch. Go back. YouTube has history. Go back and watch what I said after the Rams, Bengals, Washington game. But I can't bench somebody who's going to change the organization and money. It's either going to cap us at the knee hugely. If we bench him and we let $100 million guy sit on a bench, and then we just, I mean, what are you doing? What are you doing at this point? We have to see what we got, because decisions can be made for next year and the year after. And if Carson Wentz proves he's not the guy, well, then the Eagles will make their decision. But we can't make it off a 3-game sample size when he has 35-game sample size career. You know what I mean? Just can't do that. That's my whole thing when it comes to Carson. Simple. But real quick to this guy, real quick, and I said this in the off season that Claypool not this. Now he's a generational talent, but if he can put it together at receiver, which he had a horrible quarterback throwing him the ball, Claypool can be like a Megatron, because we never saw a guy. There's only 2 guys ever to be 6'5 plus, 230 pounds plus, and run a 4.43. The last person to do that was Megatron. The next person was Claypool. But you still got to put it together. But if he could build off this, Claypool's a monster. That's all I can say.
Y'all can say what y'all want. I'm going to tell you like this. You want to talk about trading Carson Wentz? You want to talk about benching Carson Wentz? If Carson Wentz was on that Kansas City Chiefs offense right now, you would see a whole different player. You would see a guy that we are talking about instead of Patrick Mahomes. That's just facts, because I know the talent. I seen the talent. I know what he can do when you give him just a little bit of a number 1 receiver. Remember 2017? Y'all tend to forget that because Nick Foles won the Super Bowl. That man was the MVP of that season, hands down. Like, you see what he can do when he just got a little bit of, and it really wasn't just because the first couple games him and Alshon, they wasn't on the same level for real, until that Giants game when he hit him with that, I think it was like a 20-yard pass to set up Jake Elliott for the 61 field goal. But before then, they really wasn't on, like, they wasn't meshing like that. You got to understand, it take you time to mesh with your wide receivers. And a dude like Patrick Mahomes, a dude like Deshaun Watson, until this year, we see what Deshaun Watson looked like, right? A dude like Drew Brees with Michael Thomas. Without Michael Thomas, we see what Drew Brees looks like. So you got to take in perspective, like, it's not about just who you have, it's how long you have them for. How long have y'all been practicing? Every single practice, Carson Wentz is looking at different players. Every single series is dudes in and out. Not this game. Shout out to them. They stayed healthy. Other than Darius Slay and Lane Johnson and a couple other guys. But I'm talking about the wide receiver position, man.
Wow. Dallas came back and took the lead 24-20 going into half.
Yeah, I kind of knew that was going to happen. That's what they do.
Yeah.
But when you look at it, right? When you look at it, Carson Wentz has no type of mesh with his receivers. So when you're asking this guy to look around every single series, I said this pregame, I literally seen him grab Travis Fulgham last week and told him, no, bro, you're supposed to be here. That's because there's no camaraderie. That's because he got a makeshift line and a makeshift wide receiver. And that's because of injuries. It's really nobody's fault. We don't know whose fault it is because of this. But when you look at it, I think if Carson Wentz has a steady diet, which he had in 2017, nobody was hurt all year. LeGarrette Blount was healthy. Jay Ajayi was healthy. I think he missed a couple games. Correct me if I'm wrong. Blount was healthy. Jay Ajayi was healthy. Carson Wentz, obviously, he got hurt. But Nelson Aguilar had the best years of his life. You know what I mean? Year of his life. Alshon Jeffrey was healthy, even though he played on a torn rotator cuff.
For the most part, the team was healthy. Yeah, and
that's what I'm saying. Like, it's camaraderie. If I think even with these receivers right now, I would like to see some more of the Quez Watkins, implemented. And I need my guy Rhaegar back. I think he's a dog. I need Rhaegar back. But even with these receivers right now, you see what this guy can do against the number 2 defense. This is the number 2 defense, right? And this is what everybody kept spitting to me all week. Oh, man, this is number 1. This is number 2 defense, yada, yada, yada. You see what my guy just did? Y'all talking about trading him? Are y'all serious?
All right, I want to address this, and I want to address a couple more things. Solo Bowl said, appreciate the 499 super. He said, Mike, I asked you a week ago, past and present, is Wentz worth the bread? You said, yeah, you still stand on that? Yes. Here's the reason why. Look, we're talking about a forward-thinking, a forward-going organization. I'm talking about the NFL in general. Listen, come next year, the year after that, maybe next year, no, because of the coronavirus dip. But first of all, we did not plan for COVID-19 to hit us. The average quarterback salary is going to be $35 million. You're going to get guys like Ryan Fitzpatrick for $30 million soon. That's what it's going to be. So now you got this guy for what, 5-7 years, whatever it is. So I'm saying watch all the quarterback contracts. Kyler Murray, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson. You're like, well, they're all better than him. That's debatable. But watch all the quarterbacks' contracts in the next 3 to 4 years. We're going to say we got Wentz at a discount. Now, here's the other thing I want to address. Kevin, you're saying everything I said. Carson Wentz could not use the excuse talent around him when he overthrew Miles Sanders, when he threw in double coverage to J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, when he threw to the wrong shoulder of Zach Ertz, when he threw the ball to the dirt at Miles Sanders on a screen pass. You can't use the excuse to talent if you're not getting the ball to the good or bad talent. And so that's why in a vacuum, Carson Wentz has been a average or a little below quarterback since the season started. However, I'm talking about a guy who I know more than 3 struggling games. Listen, Carson Wentz has always been a quarterback that misses high and misses low. But
They'll
with
take four, but here's the thing, Mike. They'll take 4 plays out of a whole game and talk about that. Like when you say overthrow, that's 4 plays. That's four or 5 plays at the most. Like,
here's
come
the thing,
on, man. Like everybody got overthrows. Like I just said, I just seen Patrick Mahomes driving to try to win a game against the Oakland Raiders and threw a pick. Like everybody does it. But as soon as Carson Wentz does something, look at Carson Wentz. Like, come on, man, stop it, man. Y'all need to stop. Y'all really need to stop it, yo. Seriously.
At the end of the day, you could forget about some blunders off a W. You remember everything off an L, and that's why I believe it's being pointed out. Because let's look at Nick Foles on Thursday night. Nick Foles with the Bears beat the Bucks. Nick Foles missed 2 or 3 wide open receivers. However, they got the W, so it's all forgiven. They don't get the W. Bears fans are coming at Nick Foles. Shout out to
No, they not. No, they not, because they not us. No, they not.
You're right. Lenny D with the $5 super chat. Biggest fear, people talking about trade Wentz and he goes to another team and balls out. Hey, we'll see. Then, it is what it is.
See, now, hold on. I never said Patrick Mahomes was Wentz, but you got to understand, Doug Peterson ain't Andy Reid either. You got to understand, Travis Fulgham ain't Tyreek Hill. You got to understand, as much as we love Zach Ertz, he is not Travis Kelce. So how about you talk about that? How about you talk about everything that's surrounding Patrick Mahomes is put in a perfect position to win, and that's what he did. In 2017, Carson Wentz was put in a perfect position to win. What did he do? He went 11-2. He won. Like, I'm not like y'all gotta stop it. Y'all gotta stop thinking that it's just a one-person game. This is the most this sport right here. You have to make sure that you lean on all of your players more than anybody in any other sport. You got to depend on everybody. You got to, especially at the quarterback position. You got to play. You have to depend on your offensive line. You got to depend on your coach. You got to depend on your wide receivers to catch the ball. You got to depend on your tight ends. You have to depend on your running backs to pick up blitzes, to not fumble. You got to depend on your D. You have to depend on so much. And we're just looking at Carson Wentz. But how about you looking at what he's throwing to? What he's throwing to? I'm going to go on the record, and I said this before, but I'm going to go on the record live and Sunday Night Live. Let me tell y'all something. I'm going to say it just like this. It's only one quarterback that could have did what Carson Wentz did last year with those weapons, and it ain't Patrick Mahomes. It's Russell Wilson. I'm not saying that that Carson Wentz is better than Patrick Mahomes.
Snap. Dak caught a touchdown pass with
I am looking at the circumstances, and I'm looking at everything that I see around Carson Wentz, and I'm looking at the coaches, and I'm also looking at what's hindering him. Carson Wentz has not played good this quarter. I graded him a C, but at the same time, you seen today? Did you see today? That's your quarterback. That's a guy that's going to put everything on the line. That's a guy that's going to make sure that he does everything to win. I don't understand why y'all don't appreciate that. That's where I get mad at. Why don't you appreciate your quarterback? You want to talk about all these other dudes that overthrows, that throw interceptions. Y'all want to talk about all these other dudes. How about y'all start giving your quarterback some damn respect? How about that? Come on, man, stop it.
At the end of the day, I'm going to say this because we're at an hour 24, and we pretty much said everything we could say about the game and all that. But here it comes down to this. Carson Wentz has had problems this year, but Carson Wentz by far was not the problem in this game. Let's keep it at that. You look at the first 3 games, Carson Wentz costed us 2 of them. You look at the rest of the season, Carson Wentz has been the reason we won the San Fran game. He's the reason we were in this game. Him and number 13. Simple and plain. The defense did not show up in Pittsburgh. The coaching staff was not there. Carson Wentz and Travis Fulgham pretty much kept us in this game. So Carson Wentz in a vacuum has not been good, but I feel confident saying going forward, he's in the right direction with a team that has no identity. None. Do we run the ball? Once in a while. One game we'll run the ball 5 straight times. Then we won't see it ever again. The offensive line has been a revolving door. The wide receiver position has been a revolving door. These are the positions that Carson Wentz relies on most. The O-line and the wide receiving core. And again, no excuses for week 1, 2, and 3. Because even if we had good guys, he couldn't hit a dumpster. He was missing throws horribly. But today, against the Steelers, we were in the game. Carson Wentz and the offense put us right in a chance to win. And again, after allowing the defense to score almost 30 points, you go ahead and allow Nathan Gerry to play against the hottest receiver in that game. You lost the game. Gary's trash. Jim Schwartz' scheme all game was bad. And at the end of the day, the only reason we were excited after halftime and after that interception by Carson Wentz was because of Carson Wentz in the offense. Carson Wentz in the offense kept us in this game. It's as simple as that. Go ahead and say your end pieces because we about to get about it. I'm about to finish watching this game a little bit. Eat some food.
All right. Y'all know how I get. I'm not apologizing for anything that I said. I meant what I said. I get a little hostile when people like just say things that just I don't understand. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I get that you want to get on Carson Wentz. He needs to play better. If you just say that Carson Wentz needs to play better, you point out things that he does, but just say, oh, he overthrew this guy and he overthrew that guy. That's why we need to trade him. That's blasphemy. That's bullcrap. That's S9, S10, S11. Like, stop it. Shout out to all of y'all for being in here. I appreciate it. Even though we have differences, I still love talking my ish to y'all. Every single last one of y'all, if y'all agree with me or if y'all don't, y'all entitled to your own opinion. I'm not trying to take that away. I'm just trying to make y'all see what I see. You know what I mean? I'm trying to make y'all put the fresh goggles on. You know what I mean? But once again, man, shout out to y'all. We took a loss that we should have won, that we could have won, and it hurts right now. I ain't gonna lie, it hurts right now, but I cannot in no way possible, shape, or form put this loss on my quarterback. It's coaching that costs this game. And that's just facts to me, man. You know what I mean? Got videos coming up. We can chop it up later, man. Make sure y'all stay tuned. Yo, that.
Yep. With all that being said, like I said, we got 314 people in here wherever you're watching it. If you're watching on the Philly Tall podcast or the Philly Fresh channel, make sure you smash that like button. Eagle fans have different opinions. Yes, we do. But we still have one ultimate goal, and that's to get a W, which we haven't done this year, but one time. And so things got to be corrected. Listen, I'm going to say this one more time for the people coming in here. Carson Wentz has been bad throughout this season, but in the last 2 games were his best 2 games. Now, they weren't A+ games, but they were solid games. Again, the defense totally let us down. The offense could have been better at times, but the defense let us down big time. And so we're going to have to bounce back at home. Are we home for Baltimore?
Yeah, I think so.
It's going to be tough. Listen, let's not get it twisted.
Wait. We finally got fans though. That should be exciting. 50%. And it's crazy how now that I'm starting to think the governor is a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. Like, how all of a sudden, as soon as it's Pittsburgh against Philly, oh, now y'all can get fans. Come on, stop it. But that's neither here nor there. Go ahead, my bad, Mike. Go ahead.
No, you're good. It's just pretty much saying, like, look, we know where we got to get better. And listen, Carson Wentz, like I said, for the first 3 weeks were bad. He's got better. He still has room to be better. But he's also doing this with a very short supporting cast. It's no excuses. It's excuses when we can't get it done as a whole. But if you overthrow Antonio Brown or Greg Ward Jr., an overthrow is an overthrow.
But
It
you
could
gotta,
be,
real,
yeah, you
real
need some
fast.
chemistry.
No. I ain't even talking about chemistry. You gotta understand. It's sometimes that it's a reason why these guys are legitimate wide receivers, because it's sometimes that I seen it all across the league. Like even in the Super Bowl last year with Patrick Mahomes, that when they was down and Patrick Mahomes just threw that duck up, Tyreek Hill went to go get the football. Like that was a bad throw. But people are not going to say that. So basically what I'm saying is sometimes a wide receiver can make a quarterback look good by making a good play. You know what I mean? That's all I'm going to say. Go ahead, bro.
No, I agree. I agree 100%. You can get saved by a wide receiver and all that good stuff. However, what I'm trying to say is that if it's Antonio Brown running the route or Greg Ward Jr., if the pass is overthrown, it's overthrown. But I believe that Carson Wentz is playing better the last 2 games. We're going to get a better version of Carson each and every week as he grows with these receivers and we continue to get healthy. Isaac Salamalu, Lane Johnson, who went out, maybe JP back, but maybe do we want him back? Really? I don't know about that. Alshon Jeffrey, Deshaun Jackson, maybe we don't want them back, but Travis Fulgham and Jalen Reagor can be a staple of this offense at the wide receiving core throughout this season at the second half of it. But here's the thing. We should have won our easy games. That's the Washington game and the Bengals game, because now we lost against the Steelers in a hard-fought game that, again, our defense, oh, wait, Daniel Jones going deep, and he overthrows them. Anyways, shout out to all 253.
Come on, man. You did your play-by-play already, man.
I know. I'm done with that.
I'm messing with you, bro.
We got to be better as a team. And that starts with the defense, who should be the motor. Who's more healthy, the defense or the offense? You got 4 offensive linemen out, 3 receivers out. So you're 7 missing on the offense. Out of 11 players, you're missing 7. On the defense, you're missing 2. The defense got to be the strength of this team, and it wasn't, and we lost. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Make sure you smash that like button on the way out. Philly content creators are never going to stop. We all bleed green. We all think differently, but we got one goal, W. And it's going to be a very hard one to get against Baltimore, but you got to hold some faith. And this is exactly why we needed them early ones to go on this stretch. But go ahead and say
real fast. It's looking like we got another common goal. I'm looking at this chat. I think our other common goal is to cut Nathan Gerry.
Definitely.
And he'd have lasted the Mohicans to that 2017 draft. That's the crazy part.
He's the last.
He'd have lasted the Mohicans. Go ahead, Mike. What you were saying, bro?
Go ahead and give him your little Yoda. We out, Satan. Oh,
Hey
snap.
man, we out of here, man. I appreciate everybody stopping by. Make sure y'all. I gotta look at who won the giveaway. The Greg Ward. I asked how many yards Greg Ward was gonna have. He obviously ain't have that many. I think he only had like 20, if that. So I gotta check my comments, and that gift card to be coming to one of y'all. So stay tuned. Make sure y'all listen to the comments, because the last 2 weeks people had not been commenting me back when I told them that they won. So make sure that y'all,
check it out.
Y'all check it out, and appreciate everybody for stopping by, man. Seriously, man. Y'all already know what it is, man. Stay Philly, stay fresh, y'all.
Facts. And for those who were in my play-by-play or not, or just jumping in here, I said if the Eagles won, I would have did a Travis Fulgham jersey giveaway. I don't know what contest I would have did, but I would have allowed my subscribers to get entered in the contest to win that jersey. We lost, but I still might do it. So stay tuned. Make sure you got post notifications turned on my videos, because if you watch 5 videos out of the 7 I put out and you missed the one with the instructions on how to get a free Travis Fulgham jersey, it's going to suck, especially if you're one of them guys who always catch my videos but miss that one. So stay tuned. One of my next couple of videos, we might be really doing a jersey giveaway, because at the end of the day, we need something to be happy about. You know what I'm saying? We need something to be happy about. Until next time, you guys know what time it is.